Superhero League of Hoboken. I do believe we're going to finish this today. I think we are on like the 6th of 7 set of missions, so I don't know how much longer it's going to take us, but I'm pretty sure we're going to beat this today. Oops. Magic 8 Ball only works if you ask it yes or no questions, man. Okay, so when we finished off yesterday, we had foiled Dr. Entropy yet again, and we just upgraded our league, and we've unlocked the next set of missions, so let's find out what kind of crazy shit we gotta do now. The chatterbox is going. Ten-headed dog bites everyone in Toledo. A pit bull with 10 heads has been rampaging through Toledo, mowing down every Weehawken in sight. There are a few other coherent details coming out of Toledo. The Staten Island pawnbroker's tent announces the arrival of a new shipment of tube car passes and exotic goods. Get them before they're gone. Be sure to visit the other Staten Island merchants as well. Okay. So I guess we're gonna have to go to the Staten Island store. Lost and found. See the Middleton Innkeeper. Hold on. Let's start writing this down. Staten Island Pawn Shop. Middleton Innkeeper. Don't miss it. The opening of Geraldo Rivera's personal vaults, Atlantic City, corner of Delaware and Baltic. Huh. Okay. What's our missions here? Dr. Entropy has built a machine that can release a gas with dangerous properties. Apparently Dr. Entropy's back again.
The despicable but dauntless Dr. Entropy slipped out of the highest security cell in our highest security prison on an airless asteroid beyond the orbit of Jupiter, and he is constructing a machine in a lab at the crown of the Statue of Liberty. His plan is unspeakably evil, even for this enemy of decency. He plans to release a huge cloud of gas, which will cause everyone within 300 miles to forget which drawer they've stored their Scotch tape in. The psychological effect on the population would be devastating.
Nice.
A religious cult is occupying a site near the Harrisburg-Middleton area of what was once Pennsylvania, where a nuclear meltdown nearly occurred in the latter years of the 20th century. Their belief is that mankind thwarted God's will by preventing the meltdown. Their mad scheme is to revive the plant and induce an accident, this time actually allowing the meltdown to occur. Dozens of villages would be buried beneath the resulting radioactive debris.
Okay. So for missions, we've got Harrisburg, Middleton, meltdown, the Statue of Liberty. There are reports of alligators living in the New York City sewers.
Numerous rumors indicate that there are alligators living in the New York City sewers. Although the reports are, in all likelihood, erroneous, you must explore the sewer system to verify. In the unlikely event that alligators are in residence, they should be completely exterminated.
A hostelry on Staten Island reports a serious map problem.
An emissary from the hostelry in the Staten Island city-state requests help with a map storage problem, which is seriously impairing their ability to provide services for travelers. Anything which interferes with travel services would negatively impact inter-village travel, and thus trade, and thus the beneficial effects of an increasingly dynamic society.
Oh, I bet you we're gonna need, We have a superhero whose special power is to refold road maps. I'll bet you anything we gotta take her to fix that. Okay. A miracle at the Scranton Temple has gotten out of hand.
When priests at the Scranton Temple announced the appearance of the likeness of St. Elvis in a coffee stain on a column in their anteroom, Scranton residents were delighted that their village had become the focus of so much attention. Now, however, the onslaught of pilgrims and sightseers has been so overwhelming that the city-state has been overrun, and there are signals that dissident elements in the village are even discussing setting fire to the temple. The situation must be somehow diffused.
All right. Well, we have 2 reasons to go to Staten Island. The Squawk Box told us to go to the pawn shop because they sell 2 passes there. And we have to deal with this map problem, so let's go there first. And let's bring the map foldy lady with us. I guess we can get rid of King Midas, he's not really helpful anymore. For this current second here. There she is. Princess Glovebox. Okay, so the question is, how do we get to Staten Island? Hold up. One second here. Staten Island is 2B. Okay. So we're 2C, so we have to go just straight south, I guess. Staten Island, alright. So first of all, what's the box? Inflatable dinghy we don't need. Silver tube pass, there we go. And I guess we can buy all these stat increasing foods. Brains. Okay. So what else was at Staten Island? Somewhere there's a map storage problem here. Okay. Where? Oops. Hey, Tabasco Punk, how you doing? Are you heading to bed? Well, that's cool. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. How's it going? How do you tell the stats of your equipment? You can just look at it, and it'll tell you. But your character automatically equips whatever's the highest. There's no like special characteristics on something. It's just a linear progression. Like this is better than this, is better than this, and better than this. So they always equip whatever the best item they have for each slot is. So you can just drag everything into someone's inventory. They'll automatically equip all the best stuff, and then all the stuff that doesn't have the plus symbol next to it is stuff they don't have equipped. And you can just move it down the line. So that's I just drag everything across, and just everybody will automatically equip all the best stuff. I don't have to think about it too much. Man, we got a lot of useless crap in our inventory. Okay, anyway, good enough. So where is this map storage issue? Is it at the inn? Aha, this is it.
Greetings, travelers. Plenty of vacancies. Heated pool, free color TV.
How'd this place get to be such a mess anyway?
Some of my guests were drinking pretty heavily last night. I don't know what they were drinking, but it sure seemed to make them inclined to litter. Now nobody wants to stay here, and I don't know what to do.
Okay, well, let's try our refold roadmap superpower.
The mighty magnitude advances to superhero 4th class.
I guess that did it. Okay. Take the can of Bud. Alright, we have a can of Bud. That mission was easy. Alright, let's leave and get Princess Glovebox out of our party because she's terrible. Now that she's fulfilled her purpose.
Congratulations on the successful completion of mission Dollar Bill.
Dollar bill, y'all. Okay, let's see here. So next up we've got Harrisburg/Middleton, the New York sewers, and Scranton. Well, I know how to get to New York, so let's go to the New York sewers. Should be just over here. Bum 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 bum. How do we get to the sewers is the question. I think this just leads to this. Yeah, it's not the sewers. I know there's like 15 entrances to the sewers here somewhere. Just gotta find them. Here we go. Alright, so this place is maximum danger level. This is going to be interesting. Stupid stereo gun. What's this? Samurai Welder. Samurai Welders are renegade robots from Japanese factories who have been corrupted by American union organizers and badger their attackers with endless complaints of work rule violations. Be careful if they strike. Damn it. God damn. We're not doing well with our superpower usage here, that's for sure. Down goes Robomop. $25,000 experience
King
points. Holy
Midas
shit.
and
Use see inside pizza
The
boxes.
box contains a delicious pizza topped with sausage, explosives.
No money, no treasure. Leave the box. Wimp. Alright, let's have a rest. And save. Oh boy. Alright, looks like we're going to be resting after pretty much every fight here. So this is kind of ridiculous. And the music just decided to stop. There we go. No. 10? Oh man. This looks new. Unrepeatable bug. Possibly the result, or a computer virus that mutated, probably supposed to be possibly the result of a computer virus that mutated beyond its creator's intention, or possibly the result of the worldwide computer crisis that resulted from programs unprepared for years, starting with 2. Unrepeatable bugs are fairly rare, but extremely tenacious. 29,000 XP. Holy shit, there's a lot of experience down here.
The mighty magnitude advances to superhero 3rd class.
Discover some bioreactor knee splints. Oh. Is this one of the supposed crocodiles? Alligator from hell? Yeah. For years, they've said that there were alligators in the New York City sewers. Looks like they were right. In spades. How tough is this? 500 hit points? Alright. That wasn't too bad. 10,000 experience for one enemy, too. Mademoiselle Pepperoni just got taken out. This place is pretty tough.
English are good teachers. We spend much of our time in a school. Only $750 kilodollars.
A shady-looking fish wriggles up and offers to teach you the Vanquish Baked Goods superpower. Sure. Let's give it to Mademoiselle Pepperoni. Now she'll be able to see traps and disarm them. Alright.
The Crimson Tape advances to Superhero 1st class. His
Nice.
ability, the Iron Tummy, Shredder Man, Tropical Oil Man.
Alright, everybody, well not everybody, but the OGs, I guess, are all up to 1st class. That's cool. I don't know if that's the cap or not. I could have swore I saw a experience table somewhere, but I can't find that experience table, so I might have dreamed it. Oh, 2 alligators this time.
Robo-Mop advances to Oxide Man. Advances.
Nice. 19? Oh my god. Oh my god. Ow. Alright.
King Midas advances.
$194 and a tainted hypodermic needle. This game has some of the most bizarre equipment. Alright, we have 2 rests left. That's not good. Five steroid men? Oh boy. Deflector helmet. It's one rest left. Three alligators. All right. Wonder how big these alligator fights are gonna get. Oh. Does this game have permadeath? No, your characters just come back when you rest. There's no, like, any death, but if everybody in your party dies, then it's game over, obviously. Oh, shit. We need to get out of here, like, right now.
The mighty magnitude advance. Mademoiselle Pepperoni advances to superhero first class.
Alright, vanquish baked goods.
I don't think she's quite got the hang of it yet.
Shit.
The box contains a delicious pizza topped with sausage, money.
No traps. Alright. Open it up. $200. Yes, leave, run away. Run! Alright, refill our supplies. There we go. And back to the sewers. Jesus. Radiation immunity, I think. Oh no, mighty magnitude. There we go. Alright. Holy fucking ow. The hell was that? Hey Elder Grom. Hey Uzi Monkey, how you guys doing? We are currently exploring the New York City sewers to try and eliminate an infestation of alligators. Yeah, Johnny 5 with samurai swords, pretty much. Speaking of alligators, here's 4 of them. $43,000 experience points. This dungeon is ridiculous. I need Dandy now? What's Dandy? Oh, Crocodile Dundee. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that would be helpful. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Nice opener. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. This place is insane. What the hell? Yeah, more enemies running away, please. You've successfully rid this sector of every wandering nasty. Yes! 11,000 experience point bonus. Alright, use vanquished baked goods?
I don't think.
She's not very good at doing that,
The
is she?
box contains a delicious pizza topped with sausage. Money.
Well, it's not trapped, so that's good. Alright. No more random encounters. We'll just have to deal with the alligators now. That's good. A stairway going down? Really? There's a subway. Interesting. Okay. I take it our last alligators are here. You visited every location. 5 alligators. Oh boy. There we go. 53,990 experience points. And 3,600 for killing all the alligators. Alright. The Iron Tummy notices a small alligator dropping. Since you never know when something might be useful, especially in a wacky video game like this, you might add it to the party's inventory.
The Crimson Tape passes the coveted 1 million experience point mark. The Commissioner of Superhero Leagues flies in from his ultra-secret headquarters and decorates the Crimson Tape with a mill marker, which makes the bearer completely impervious for 1 round of combat.
Huh. Interesting.
The Iron Tummy passes the coveted 1 million experience point Shredder Man. King Midas.
I don't know if we have any combat left at this point. I think we've been like everywhere in the world. Well, let's see where this train leads. Eighth and Market? Where's 8th and Market? What? The train just took me... What? I'm confused. Oh, it's a different sewer. Okay, never mind. That's... I get it. It's just a completely different sewer. I was very confused for a second there. It's the silver one, which we just bought the card for, so this is going to be new. Middleton Harrisburg Tube Station. Oh, this is new. New part of town. I guess we do have some combat left. Alright. I think we have mission here. Yeah, there's some kind of crazy cult here is trying to trigger a nuclear meltdown. An encampment of 20 bad guys. What the fuck? least they're weak bad guys. Flying fish with lips. Yeah, it's a cruise mistletoe. The party discovers $2 and a paperclip.
Tropical Oil Man passes.
It's the paperclip equipment. Nope. It's a quest item of some type. Okay.
Robo-Mop passes. Oxide Man passes. The
Let's find a beef borscht. Da, 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 da. Oh, more cruise mistletoes.
the mighty magnitude, and
And we are out of rests. That's not good. Yeah, let's get out of here. I'm in Atlantic City. Oh man, we're going all over the fucking place here. Okay, this should take me right near our base, I think. Somewhere. Here it is. Okay.
Congratulations on the successful completion of mission Jaundice.
Get our supplies back. Yay! Okay. Starts getting a little crazy navigating the world here. Band of 13 nasties. Alright. Ow.
Mademoiselle Pepperoni passes.
encounter a weary traveler, he is pushing a cart that probably contains all of his worldly possessions. He presses his palms together, bows politely, and offers vegetable vindaloo, homemade, best in town, only $638K. Sure. Don't think we have much to spend money on anymore, so... Jesus Christ, that hurts when those you do that strike attack. Kind of ridiculous. Marketplace. Middleton Marketplace. You're in the bazaar of Middleton Village. Actually, historic Middleton is over on the other side of the Susquehanna River, and this is really Newbury and Fairview over here. But all the natives call it Middleton, and no one's complained yet, so if you complain, you'll be the first. So there. Yeah. To the east is a black booth, to the northeast is a red storefront, to the northwest is a blue tent, to the west is a small lodge painted purple. Alright. Probably our last set of equipment upgrades here. A buffalo whip. 9 damage, no. Look at all these garbage melee weapons. Alright.
Oh!
More armor, concrete earmuffs, deflector earrings, and pocket missile defense. Alright.
What can I do? Let me... 2 days of first day.
Greetings, travel.
unique dialogue there. Alright. Golden isotope. Sure. So many enemies. Oh, that's new. What's this? Albino Dino. Dwelling in an underground cavern for 65 million years, this living relic of the age of dinosaurs remained undiscovered until its cavern was pierced while filming Jurassic Park 7. During the second decade of the 21st century, returning to the surface of the planet it once ruled, albino dinos quickly grew in number. Just before the collapse, a group of scientists hatched a dozen genetically manufactured Tyrannosaurus rexes to keep the albino dino population under control, but all 12 rexes were eaten by the first albino dino they encountered. Since then, well, folks basically just tried to avoid these fellas. Great. On this small blighted island in the Susquehanna River is a complex of buildings surrounded by the shreds of a barbed wire fence and by warning signs bleached white by the sun. Not yet. That's where we gotta go to finish this place. Just gotta finish off whatever fights are remaining here and explore all these stupid hills. many more fights do we have to do to clear this area out? Holy shit. Alright, there we go. Zone cleared. Jade colored isotope.
Thank you.
Sure.
Alright.
So let's check this place out. These guys are trying to cause some kind of nuclear meltdown here. 3 Mile Island. You're in the control room of a nuclear power plant. The curved cooling towers, partially collapsed, dominate the view through the shattered windows. An exit leads southeast. 2 units dominate the control room. On one side is an activation unit. At the opposite end of the room is a deactivation unit. A group of bizarrely dressed cultists is clustered around the former. The cultists, intent on their ritual, ignore you. Most of the control panels are smashed. All of the control panels are extremely complex and confusing. Many of the windows have shattered. Beyond, you can see the curved concrete shapes of the cooling towers, cracked and crumbling. The deactivation unit is a large piece of machinery in a sleek metal cabinet, filling a good portion of this side of the control room. At the moment, it is closed. Open. You open the deactivation unit and discover an orange lever, a pressure gauge, some hydraulic tubing, and a pair of electrodes. Short length of tubing made from a variety of synthetic rubber. The gauge has a red needle, which is currently sitting quite contentedly at 0. At the end of the dial, the background of the gauge between 60 and 80 is a pie-shaped swath of green. There's a gap of an inch or perhaps a bit more between the electrodes, as if a wire or another connection had burned away, or rusted away, or was devoured by rats, or something like that. Can we put the paperclip in there? We can. The paperclip perfectly bridges the gap between the electrodes, completing the circuit. Pull the lever. The unit shudders, and the needle on the pressure gauge begins to creep towards the green area of the dial. Suddenly, a section of the hydraulic tubing blows out, creating a small hole. The needle sinks back to 0, and the unit ceases its shuddering. Can we seal the hole with alligator poo? You can't put the alligator dropping in the hole. Nope. You can eat this. And this. Muffin. Muffin in the hole. No. Cufflink in the hole. No. Can of bud in the hole. No. Cone? Cone in the hole? No. Light bulb in the hole? No. Muffler? No. Hey, Caroline, how you doing, man? So we need some way to seal this hole, or a replacement tube. But we don't have anything that seems to be working here. Do I carry around iron balls? Nope. Do I have a superpower? Superpower of 10. Magnitude explains that its power is limited to those objects that can be measured in exact multiples of 10. The explanation is very technical, and while the charts and overhead projections help, you're unable to follow most of the math and decide to just take the mighty magnitude at his word. Yeah, it's the George Washington wig.
What mess? I don't see any mess here, Tape.
The activation unit is a large piece of machinery which dominates one side of the control room. It has been opened, but you can't see within because the cultists are clustered so tightly around it. Okay, well, I'm going to work under the assumption that we need something we don't have right now. So I've tried everything in our inventory. There's nothing else we can interact with here. Alright. What other missions do we got? So we've done the alligators, we've done Staten Island, we can go to Scranton. Where's Scranton? Scranton... Scranton. Gold. Buffalo. Where's Buffalo? What? I've got this like location map here, but I'm confused now. How the hell do we get to Scranton? Yeah, there's no neighborhood called Buffalo. So I'm taking it, we have to take a subway to Buffalo, so how do we get to Buffalo? Subway. Newark goes to Scranton. Okay, so we go to Newark, then we go to Scranton. Okay. Okay, I think I know where to go. Buffalo sounds tasty. Well, I think that's where buffalo wings were invented, if I'm not mistaken. So now we gotta go. No. Let's go back to base and refill our supplies. Then we'll go to Newark. There we go. Okay, so now the gray car should take us to Scranton. Scranton. Okay, we're in Scranton again. This is where we need to be. And apparently I haven't finished mapping this place out since we've got our swimming abilities. So. You see a newspaper box here. A number of pilgrims each obtain a paper from the dispenser. Newspaper box. You take a copy of the Scranton Times. A number of pilgrims each obtain a paper. Okay. It's a small paper which looks like it was printed on a toy printing press in someone's basement on the backs of old tissue paper. Pilgrims continue to pour into Scranton. Sanitary system is breaking down. Mayor ponders martial law. Temple priests search for whiteners and brighteners to remove Elvis stain. Lucky Lotto winner takes home 425 kilobucks. Two-headed psychic abducted by UFO. Okay.
Greetings, travel.
Nothing new to say.
What can I?
No status effects to cure. Okay.
I have no.
And nothing to buy. Okay. Well, we found a newspaper.
Can't fill this baby fast enough. What with all these pilgrims in town trying to find the temple?
A creaking delivery truck rumbles up to the newspaper box, and the driver tosses a bundle of newspapers into the wire bin. Belching oily smoke, the truck rumbles away. A minute later, a kid saunters up to the dispenser. Cue the voice acting we just heard. He produces a key to unlock the dispenser, shoves the papers from the basket into the dispenser, relocks it, and saunters away. Huh. So this is the temple that we have to investigate. This is a Superhero League of Playboy, right? Yeah. Okay. Although the interior of the church would normally be considered roomy, it's not nearly large enough to comfortably accommodate the seething mass of pilgrims who have jammed the temple to see the likeness of the king, which appeared on a stone column. Through the crowd, you can barely make out an exit to the east. One of the columns has a blotch on it which bears an amazing resemblance to Elvis, if the light catches it at just the right angle, and if you squint at it in just the right way, and if you know what to look for, and if you've had a major lobotomy. So since it's a stain, can we just clean it up with RoboMop? Clean any mess.
What mess? I don't see any mess here, Tape.
Nope. Is the blotch made of oil? Can we finally use the oil-eating microbes? Nope. Alright, we can't seem to do anything with the stain. Can we talk to the crowd? Try to get the attention of a few of the stain oglers, but they're much too interested in the miracle to give you much attention. Try the ear pad. What ear pad? Oh, the cone. Oops. Nope. This isn't a Q-tip, it's a fluffer. But I used everything on it. Vaulted ceiling. The arch ceiling adds to the somber religious atmosphere of the temple. Okay, apparently we're missing more things.
Improper or miss.
We don't have a gold pass? Really? Huh. I figured we'd have them all by now. Well, let's go. I have a thing to go to Atlantic City. Something to do with Geraldo Rivera being dug up or something? Yeah, alright. Let's get to Atlantic City. If I can remember how to get there. Atlantic City is blue. Downstairs here? It might actually be down here. No, that's red. Okay, this should go to Atlantic City. So somewhere around here, Geraldo Rivera, his grave is being dug up or something, according to the radio. Not here. There's some hullabaloo going on in an excavation by the side of the street. Investigate, sure. With great fanfare, a rather obnoxious fellow announces the opening of Geraldo Rivera's private vaults, which are sure to contain incredible relics from the past. He inserts a crowbar and cracks open the door. A puff of stale air jets out, rank with industrial byproducts of the 20th century atmosphere. The obnoxious fellow squeezes inside. The crowd surges forward in anticipation. But the man appears, looking dejected, having only found a pile of newspapers and a candy dispenser. The crowd grumbles and disperses, leaving the two items behind. You shrug and then add them to the party's inventory. That's what we get. Oops. A Pez dispenser, and a pile of National Enquirers. It's a stack of 50 or 100 newspapers featuring garish headlines and lurid cover photos. If you can stand it, it might be interesting to read through. So I wonder if we have to put the newspapers in the newspaper basket. It's a small candy dispenser in the shape of a duck wearing a blue sailor suit. Okay. Let's read the paper. Liz tells Doc to lock her up where she can't get food. Ivana's secret shame. More shoes than Imelda. Elvis seen in baby's birthmark in Amarillo, Texas. Two-headed psychic abducted by UFO. There we go. So the Elvis-obsessed people will go to Texas. We got to put this in the newspaper basket. That should get rid of them. Okay. That makes sense. Makes sense in an adventure game logic kind of way anyway. What's in the Pez dispenser? There's no Pez in the dispenser, unfortunately. Boo. I want Pez. There's no candy to eat, unfortunately. But we got newspaper, which I think we could do something with. A Donald Duck Pez dispenser, yep. Put the pile of National Enquirers in the basket. A creaking delivery truck rumbles up to the newspaper box, and the driver sees that there's already a bunch of papers in the basket. Shrugs and drives off. A minute later, a kid saunters up to the dispenser, unlocks it, shoves the papers from the basket into the dispenser, relocks it, and saunters away. As pilgrims begin taking copies of the National Enquirer, word explodes across the village of the new miracle in Amarillo. Pilgrims begin packing up by the cartload, behind every provision in sight. The last pilgrim out of town drops one of his provisions, a bowl of mushroom soup. Chase after him to return it, but he's gone. And we gain 3600 XP. So we have a bowl of mushroom soup. It's a thin puree. Huh. Okay. And the temple's empty now. Good. Okay, so that's another mission solved. So we've solved the alligators, the map storage issue, the Elvis temple. All we've got left is that meltdown. And then Dr. Entropy. Shit. So we need something to seal that rubber tube, but I don't have anything. We tried everything in my inventory. Might have to look it up, find out what we missed. I hate looking things up. Let's see. Oh, apparently there was gum on the ground in a subway station that I didn't pick up. God damn it. So we gotta go to Newark and take the red train to Philadelphia. Oh, that was Newark. Oops. see a wad of chewing gum here. I wasn't paying close enough attention when we came through here. Take the chewing gum. Okay. Now how do we get back to wherever that place was again? Take the gum, then go and take the subtrain. Okay. Subtrain's down here. Okay. Back to the power plant. You stuff the gum in the hole of the tube. The gum seems to do a reasonably good job of plugging up the hole. Pull the lever. Across the room, the cultists complete their ceremony and pull their orange lever. The activation unit begins shuddering. Meanwhile, you pull your orange lever, and the deactivation unit begins shuddering. The needle on the pressure gauge rises into the center of the green area and stops.
I guess we'll try Chernobyl next.
There are cries of disappointment from the cultists as the red lights come on all over in the activation unit, which then melts into a molten mess, leaving behind a single pellet of enriched uranium. The cultists slowly file out. You overhear one of them mumble, "I guess we'll try Chernobyl next." You take the enriched uranium pellet. Alright, we have an enriched uranium pellet. It's a metallic pellet, about the size of a large aspirin, and is presumably giving off all sorts of horribly dangerous rays. Nice. Alright. So we've now finished everything but Dr. Entropy's thing, who is in the Statue of Liberty, so let's go there. Alright. Liberty's pedestal. You see an Android owner's manual here. Okay, we have an Android owner's manual. Congratulations on selecting the model ND9000 Android, the most advanced, loyal, and obedient synthetic servant on the market. Care and feeding. Your model ND9000 Android is equipped with a mini fusion reactor which can convert a wide variety of organics into energy. Please supply your unit with at least 8 ounces of carbonated alcoholic beverage, as this will help to clean the delicate moving parts of your model ND9000 Android. Alright, well, we have a can of Budweiser. There are just a few combinations of ingredients to avoid. Never simultaneously feed your unit gelatin, birdseed, and liquid dish soap, as this can severely degrade its depth perception. Do not feed your unit a combination of cranberry juice, cod liver oil, and battery acid, as this can interfere with the ND9000's internal hydraulic pressures. Finally, do not serve your unit a combination of fungi, radioactive material, and reptile feces, as this can induce a condition which is somewhat analogous to the mating cycle in animals. Okay, well, we have mushroom soup, the radioactive pellet, and alligator poop. So we have the last combination of items. Okay. So if we put the pellet in the soup... No. I guess we can't mix it, we just gotta give it all to the android whenever we find it. Let's go upstairs.
The boss says to keep everybody out. Everybody.
Before you can even set foot on the first step, a huge and terrifying android appears. Actually, he's not all that terrifying. He's not even all that huge. But he's certainly huge enough to decide who goes up and who doesn't. Maybe he'll let the party pass. The boss says to keep everybody out. Everybody. Well, that answers that. Have mushroom soup. Okay. Pour mushroom soup on android.
I've got a hunch we just might need that.
So how do I mix them? Give them the beer. There we go. You drop the alligator dropping through the pop top into the bud. You hear a slight fizzling sound as it dissolves. I guess we've got to put everything into the beer and then give it to him. Drop the enriched uranium pellet through the pop top into the bud. Can't get the soup in. Maybe I gotta use the cone. It's like a funnel cone with bud. You stick the narrow end of the cone through the opening at the top of the can. There we go. Now we can pour the soup in. The cone funnels the soup into the can. There we go. Removing the cone first. Alright, what a pal. The android grabs the beer and sucks it down. Wiping his lips, he says, "Yeah, that really hit the..." Suddenly, the android begins howling, running around in circles and hitting himself in the head with his foot. Then he spots a passing automated water taxi, whistles wolfishly, and takes off after it. A minute later, in the distance, you hear the shriek of tearing metal and the sharp crack of an electric arc. Okay. So we got through that. Hello, Dr. Entropy. Dr. Entropy apologizes for not having a puzzle ready for you, and seeing the hopelessness of his situation, hurls himself off the statue to his death. What? Is this where the developers ran out of time? We don't have the budget to think of anything. We gained 3,600 experience points. Hooray, we did it.
Congratulations on the successful completion of missions Cold Water Faucet, Lava, and Deep Dark Savage Tan. This communication just in from the Commissioner. The SLH is hereby promoted to a Level 7 League. All members are awarded 12,250 experience points. A grant of 1,750 kilo-dollars accompanies this promotion.
The Caped Cod advances to Superhero 5th Class.
657,000 minutes later.
Are we in the right place?
Is this the Superhero League of Hoboken?
We're here to join up.
Become members!
We used to be members of the Superhero League of Buffalo.
Until the headquarters was flattened.
By a stampede.
Of buffalo!
Can't imagine where they came from.
Don't usually see buffalo around Buffalo.
Nope.
I'm Zaniac!
And I'm Toastbuster.
We're twins!
It's the truth.
Hard to believe it, we know.
Don't look a thing alike. That's what everyone always says.
But it's the truth!
Yep. They wouldn't have lied to us.
No siree, not in the John Lovett's room of the Ollie North Pediatric Wing of the Richard Nixon Memorial Orphanage.
We'll hang out in the lunchroom till our number is called.
Woohoo! Great to be on board!
Yep.
A new set of missions is available. Please go to the briefing room.
Okay. Holy shit. Holy shit, look at this guy's stats. 500 hit points? 225 brawn? Okay, you're joining the squad. Holy fucking shit. Zaniac. 266 brains, power to confuse, 1,000,000 secondary powers. Okay, these guys seem really good.
Well,
You're one of the strongest superheroes I've ever seen.
I've never used steroids. How dare you infer that I have?
Do you ever worry about going stale?
You don't worry about going stale when you're as fresh as I am. Yeah, let's find some bad guys and reduce them to crumbs.
Hey, what do you say?
Hey, nice hat.
Am I wearing a hat? No wonder my brow is so sweaty.
I always put on my tights first, then my cape. How about you?
Work? Are we at work? I thought this was just some really, really big amusement park.
That doesn't match what the text said. Hey, I have enough trouble remembering to put my pants on after I put on my undies.
I don't see any road.
Okay then. Alright. So, what's our new missions here? Light on the chatterbox is blinking insistently. Alright. Dog bites man. An Irish setter, believed to be rabid, bit a man in the Oyster Bay area. Oyster Bay is believed to be a euphemism for Weehawken. Postal rate increase. A warlord from the Poughkeepsie state has declared himself to be Postmaster General and announced an 800% increase in postage rates. There's little immediate impact from the increase since the National Postal System has been operating for, 110, maybe 115 years now. Lost and found. See Middleton Innkeeper. We should probably do that. Truck accident in Scranton's waterfront district. Any superheroes in the vicinity are urged to lend a hand. Okay. Hold up. Middleton Innkeeper. Lost and found. What's this? Scranton truck crash.
You have only one pending mission, but it is your most important one ever. Dr. Entropy has apparently survived his plunge from the Statue of Liberty and has established a base at the top of the Empire State Building. The details of his plans are unknown except for one. If he succeeds, it will mean an end to life on Earth as we know it.
A sure sign that you're approaching the end of the game, eh? Okay. Empire State Building. Look at this nice fully explored map. Chaos free. Yep. Alright. So first things first, let's go to Middleton, I guess. Middleton. Yeah, we've cleared out everywhere, including the New York sewers, which was max difficulty. How the hell did we get to Middleton again? Okay, well, I guess we can go to... I know how to get to Scranton to get the truck crash thing. We could do that. So where did this crash happen? You've arrived at a large pit at the bottom of a hill. Dark smoke is billowing towards you. Care to investigate? Yes. That's a lot of bananas. Accident site. You come upon the scene of an awful truck accident. Apparently the driver's brakes failed while coming down the mountain from Scranton. The party has arrived far too late to be of help. To be of much help, there's nothing left of the driver, little left of the truck. Surprisingly, the truck's cargo is intact. 30,000 pounds of bananas. Take bananas. You start to pick up the bananas, but the iron tummy intervenes. Come on, Tape. There's 30,000 pounds of bananas here. We've gone along with the rest of your harebrained schemes, but there's no way we can lift that. The mighty magnitude also points out that the League's health plan does not cover hernia operations. Clean any mess?
This mess is too big for me, Tape, and I'm mop enough to admit it.
That's a first. Power of 10 is 30,000 bananas, a magnitude of 10. The mighty magnitude performs a few quick calculations and then shrinks the mountain of bananas to 1/10 its former size. This reveals even more details of the truck's horrible demise. Yick. Can we take them now?
That's still 333.333333 pounds per party member, approximately, of course.
Can you clean it now that it's smaller?
This mess is too big.
Nope. Magnitude uses his power on the bananas. Obviously strained by the effort, he pulls a handkerchief from his chest pocket and wipes his brow. The bananas are now less of a mountain and more of a mound, but at 300 pounds, not exactly what you would call a manageable mound. Can we take them now?
We'd be 27% less effective in combat and use up our provisions 13% faster. The risk-return calculations don't look promising, Tape.
Use it again. Magnitude, somewhat worn, steels himself to the task. Now there are a mere 30 pounds of bananas, no longer a mound, but still a pretty impressive bunch. We take 30 pounds of bananas. Alright. Fix the truck. Fix the truck with? Oh, a muffler? Take a miracle to fix this wreck. Again, you're fresh out of them. Drive the truck. No. Do we need the bananas? Well, obviously we need the bananas, but do we need the truck is what I mean. Am I wasting my time? I don't know.
Improper or missing pass.
Where did we get the gold pass from then? How are we still missing that? That doesn't... I guess we gotta figure out how to get to Middleton, maybe? Trying to figure out how to get to Middleton, but this fucking map is useless. Where is Middleton? God damn it. Silver? Where's the silver? I hate this game's subway system so much. It's so annoying.
Improper or...
Oh, fuck off. Middleton. Okay, this is Middleton. Jesus Christ. Something to do with a lost and found here? Lost and found. Master Tube Pass. Take the Master Tube Car Pass from the box. There we go. Okay. There's the gold Tube Car Pass we're missing. Okay. So now we have to get back. Whoops. Back to the gold one, which is where? Buffalo. Alright, we're in Buffalo. Dangerometer overloads and blows itself to smithereens. Uh-oh. I guess this is the hardest area. Well, here goes nothing. Whoa, these are new. Ragweed. 1,080 hit points. Lovely. This enormous plant, dwarfing buildings and trees, can send dense clouds of super-strength pollen for miles in every direction. For anyone with the slightest allergy, these monsters can be literally murder. Power to confuse. Nope. Jesus Christ! 122,000 experience points.
Zaniac passes the coveted 1 million experience point mark. The commissioner of...
Wow. Let's rest. We're going to be resting a lot here, I think. Oops. To the west side of the road is a grassy area overlooking the river. Would you care to step inside? Not yet. Not until we finish exploring. Okay. Under 24,000 experience points.
Ghostbuster!
And rest again. Because this is fucking crazy.
The mighty magnitude.
Oh, nice. We got more food. That's good. We definitely need more food. If they want to drop food after we fight, I am all for it. Surprise! There's a marketplace at the center of the village. Shall we go on a spree? Sure. Tonawanda Marketplace. If you've ever been to the Mall of America in Minneapolis, then you have a perfect idea of what this market doesn't look like. The stalls here include a black one to the northwest and a gold one to the northeast. To the north is a building with a fresh coat of purple paint, and the marketplace clears to the south. Well, let's go to the gold one first. He sells one thing, an isotope. Drinking the iodine isotope will grant the ability to use the cause root rod superpower. Nah.
Oh!
We'll definitely take more armor. Cotton balls? And a place to refill our food if we need. Okay. It's a large Victorian building. Save that until we're done exploring here. Nearby, a number of makeshift tents have been pitched along the edge of the river. The area is teeming with heavily armed and armored men. One of the men seems to be standing guard. Not yet. These fucking corn on the cob guys can eat shit. Worst enemies is nature, apparently. The League has been victorious in its 200th combat. All League members are bestowed a special experience bonus of 50,000.
Princess Glovebox, the Caped Cod, Captain Excitement.
Okay, cool. Excuse me. You reach an area where the elevation changes abruptly. In a word, a cliff. Nearby, you hear a roar of cascading water. Nearby observation platform might afford a better view. Not yet. There's a lot of hotspots on this map, though. Yow, has this game got enough marketplaces? Here's another one. Bop on in. Especially if they sell weapons or armor, yeah. Chippewa Marketplace. This, the only marketplace in the game that rests on what was once Canadian soil. It's just like all the other bazaars you've been to, except that it's bilingual. The marketplace can be exited to the south. Shops are red to the northwest, blue to the north, and gold to the northeast.
Oh.
La Isotope. Oh, because of course it's French Canadian. It's La Isotope. Drinking the white isotope will grant the ability to use the Beaver Jaw superpower at 100%. That's new. We should probably buy that. L'isotope d'argent. Drinking this silver isotope will grant the ability to use the power to confuse. We already have that on him. L'isotope de rustique. Reduce rust, we don't need. Eating vegetable, increase one's health by 10. Sure. Okay. So we have a beaver, some kind of bizarre beaver jaw power we can give somebody.
the po-
La Missile du Mantis. 90 damage ranged attack. Alright. Deal.
What can I do for you? Check out. Let.
Oxide Man is itchy.
Look, man.
There we go. Okay, back to exploring. 12 nasties.
'The Crimson Tape passes the extraordinarily rarefied 2 million experience point mark. The commissioner of superhero leagues flies in from his ultra-secret headquarters along with his entire staff and a 300-piece brass band and decorates the Crimson Tape again. If this keeps up, he is going to start looking like a Christmas tree.
Okay.
Oxide Man.
Nearby, a number of makeshift tents have been pitched along the edge of the river. The area is teeming with heavily armored men. Same as the other one. Another palatial structure. A split rail fence. Nope. Oh, hi. $1,400 damage for power to confuse. Holy cow. Okay. $9,099 damage. What the hell?
The Iron Tummy passes Shredder Man.
You've now completely explored the entire greater Hoboken geography. Exploration super bonus of 100,000 points for each party member. Be more impressive if we weren't getting like 120,000 per fight. Okay, so first place we found was this. Rest Station. Nestled between the remains of the highway and the swiftly moving Niagara River is a shaded area filled with rusted barbecue grills and the rotted remains of picnic tables. This must once have been a rest stop for passing travelers. A 100-foot tall elm tree stands at the riverbank. You see a vending machine here. The table and benches are one unit, an interesting but seemingly impractical design. Sit it. Well, since this is a rest station, you might as well take a rest. You signal the party to sit down around the picnic table, but when the rotting wood begins to collapse, everyone jumps hastily to their feet. The grill is a large brick unit that appears to have once upon a time been used for food preparation. Nowadays, it is little more than rubble.
Shall I recite today's menu?
Your basic, highly automated, late model food dispenser. Before the collapse, this machine would have been stocked full of delicacies to satiate the hunger of the hungry traveler. The machine's neural network detects your interest. A tinny mechanical voice says, "Shall I recite today's menu?" Sure. Let's just got some stat increasing stuff. Alright. Sure. American elm tree. It appears to be an American elm tree, 100 feet tall, growing right at the bank of the river. 100 feet tall? That's a big tree. Am I supposed to chew it down like a beaver? Is that what we needed this for? Alright, we now have beaver jaw. Okay. So... oh, beaver jaw. There it is.
Timber!
I was right. Alright, someone in the party yells timber. The tree falls toward the river, extending maybe 1/10 of the way across the width of the river. Cut. Cut the American elm tree. With... I don't have anything that I think is going to cut a tree.
Your basic American elm is one pretty tough tree, Tape. I don't think we'll get anywhere with this approach.
Your basic American elm.
Okay. So we probably have to find something to cut the tree further, unless I can use the beaver power again. You already felled the tree. No. Okay. You get the sentry's attention. After plying him with gifts from the party's stores, such as wine and chocolate and dry roasted cashews, the sentry explains that the glorious Tonawanda army has orders to recapture Grand Island from the infidel dogs of Chippewa once the warlord and his generals figure out how to get the army past the strong currents of the Niagara River. I see.
Turbo-Mop passes the tropical oil.
We found more food. Nice. We need it. Wonder if this place is like infinite because it blew the danger meter up or not. Tonawanda Warlord's Mansion. You're in the imposing foyer of a richly appointed mansion. Stairs lead up. You can leave the mansion to the south. Council room. This is a richly appointed room, a combination office and bedroom. Maps of Grand Island are spread out across a desk. Stairs lead down. The Tonawanda Warlord is here, reviewing battle maps with his staff. Excuse me. The preoccupied officers hardly notice the intrusion as the party casually blends into the scene. You see the Warlord here. Spin the globe. Ooh, that was fun. Pointless, but fun. The framed document is an old map of this area. So old that many of the places on it no longer exist, or at least exist under different names and different spellings. The council is too busy planning its grand military campaigns to waste time talking to you. Okay, let's listen. You overhear them planning to conquer Grand Island from the opposing army of Chippewa. The warlord is asking his generals for ideas on how to cross the swiftly flowing Niagara. The warlord, studying his maps and charts, didn't hear you, or perhaps he heard you but didn't think you were worth responding to. Both theories are quite defensible. Oops. Alright. Well, I guess we gotta go talk to the... There's two armies we gotta talk to. You get the sentry's attention after plying and blah blah blah. Exact same thing. They just want to cross the river. Exact same thing. Also the exact same thing. Okay. So both sides are identical. What's this? Ben's Farm. You're on a pleasant little farm. Its bucolic expanse gives it an old-fashioned atmosphere, in contrast with the small and scrubby subsistence farms which dot most of the villages in the northeast region. Paths lead away from the farm to the west, east, and southeast. You see Farmer Ben here. Farmer Ben is wearing an elevator key. Elevator key. Take the key.
Get your hands off my here key. I'll give it to you when I'm good and ready, you hear? Nice day if it don't rain.
So, Ben, what'd you do before you were a farmer?
I don't care much to talk about my past career. It had its ups and downs.
We'd love to get that key of yours.
This key's a real important keepsake to me. Of course, I'm always amenable to a trade.
How are the crops this year?
They'll be okay. God willing and the creek don't rise.
Who's Otis?
Otis ain't a person, you ninny. I got this here cap from my previous job. This key's a...
Amenable to a trade. A trade for what? What do you want? What do you want?
Sure.
It's a big old red barn, just like any self-respecting American farm ought to have. Like most silos, it resembles a giant coffee thermos. Want some bananas?
What would I do with that?
Want a cone?
What would I do with that?
Want Pez dispenser?
What would I do with that?
Want some wooden teeth?
What would I do with that?
Want a wig?
What would I do with that?
Want a Scranton Times?
What would I do with that?
How about a George Washington costume?
What would I do with that?
Tasty muffin?
What would I do with that?
Cufflink?
What would I do with that?
Floor buffer?
What would I do with that?
Fluffer?
What would I do with that?
Card shuffler?
What would I do with that?
Muffler?
What would I do with that?
Light bulb. Surely you want a light bulb.
What would I do with that?
How about a warranty?
What would I do with that?
Printout? You want a printout, right?
What would I do with that?
Okay. Well, we can enter the barn. You can't enter it from this side of the fence. Climb the fence.
I wouldn't advise it. I'd hate to have to sick the dogs after you.
Sit on the fence. Your position as the decisive head of the league doesn't afford you the luxury of ever sitting on the fence. Eat the fence. What? I don't understand what this... He says he's amenable to a trade. Doesn't say what he wants. We've got a barn and a silo we can enter, but we can't enter the fence because the fence is in the way. We can't climb the fence. This is the worst part. This is when you know as an adventure game designer you failed. Is when your player starts combining every single item in their inventory with something you've interacted in the environment. It means you've not given your player any information, and so they're just guessing.
Your basic American...
Alright, I'm looking it up. I've had enough of this. Oh. Apparently we have to use the superpower of 10 on the tree. Okay.
Is that what you wanted?
The body of the fallen tree swells and stretches. The top of the tree darts across the river, extending 1,000 feet to the distant shore, and completely damming the water's flow. The water backs up against the south side of the barrier. To the north of the makeshift dam, the water level begins dropping as the river water drains over the distant falls. Okay. The army, led by the warlord and generals, are in formation along the riverbanks, waiting for the river to drain. You have now rid the entire Greater Hoboken Theater of operations of all free-roaming nasty elements. A super bonus of 100,000 experience points is awarded to all party members.
Zaniac passes.
Alright, we have killed every single enemy in the game, apparently. Cool. Okay. Draining the river didn't seem to help any. This is all still the same. Huh. Was there another area we haven't been to? Oh, there's like a cliff here. The Niagara River here plunges in a breathtaking waterfall of impressive size. You arrive just in time to see the last trickle of water spill over the fall's edge. Shredderman climbs down and retrieves the wooden barrel from the base of the waterfall. After picking the remains of a daredevil off the rim, Shredderman pronounces it to be in excellent condition. Ah, okay. Weird. We've now drained the river. Piles of trash, broken tent poles, and cold ash pits reveal that this area was recently the site of an army encampment. These guys are still here? How to cross the swiftly flowing river. Maybe you didn't notice, but it's not flowing anymore. Barrel looks like perfect storage for agricultural products. Put bananas in it. Although that would be easier than shooting fish in a barrel and more fun in the barrel of monkeys, it would be more useless than buffing a barrel of bowling balls.
That must have been the elm tree going over the falls.
Phew! We got out of the riverbed just in time.
Just as the last of the party reaches the relative high ground of Grand Island, a veritable tsunami of water sweeps into the muddy river bottom, propelling the humongous elm that temporarily dammed the river. The riverbed fills with water. As the river returns to its former depth, an incredible crunching noise reverberates from the northwest. That must have been the elm tree going over the falls. Guesses the Iron Tummy? Okay. The more than usually run-down state of the village tells you that an army has recently passed this way. You hear commotion from the direction of the highway. Here, in the open space of the former highway, the opposing armies of Tonawanda and Chippewa have come together for what each expects to be a grand and glorious victory. A Chippewa and a Tonawanda scout appear, respectively, from the west and east, bearing news that the river has begun flowing again, and the armies are trapped on the island. A worried murmur ripples through both armies. A handful of soldiers from each side nervously approach your party.
We now realize the futility of our endeavors.
If you help us get off this island, we will repent the error of our ways.
You offer to swim them one at a time, piggyback style, to evacuate the island if they will renounce warfare.
Never! I will never give up the fight! I shall return!
Well, I'll be. Wait until we tell Midas about that.
One of the generals is outraged. Fist raised high, he shouts, "Never! I will never give up the fight. I shall return." His voice echoes in the distance, growing into a thunderous sound. But wait, the thundering sound is not just an echo. From the horizon, a cloud of dust approaches. A herd of buffalo stampedes down the highway, trampling the errant general, and are gone. One by one, the soldiers beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks as members of the party shuffle them off the island. With the last of the soldiers gone, the party is left with a plowshare and a pruning hook. Sure. Alright. Want a barrel?
That sure is a mighty fine barrel. but I don't think it's enough for me to give up this here key.
Want a pruning hook.
Getting there, getting there.
Oh, he took it. Want a plowshare?
These fine tools will sure help me bring in the crop. I suppose it's only fair to give you this key.
He takes it from the chain around his neck and hands it over. Alright, we have the elevator key, which I'm assuming is for the Empire State Building.
Nice. Shoot.
Can we climb the fence yet?
I wouldn't.
Apparently not. Okay, is there anything else we need to do here? Apparently not. Alright, let's go to the Empire State Building and finish this.
Wasn't that tube station entrance around here somewhere?
Let's refill our rests, just in case there's some combat or something here. There we go. Really? Enemies are back here again? Huh. That power to confuse is really strong. This must be like scripted final battles or something.
The mighty magnitude.
Holy cow. Alright, they're just throwing everything at us now.
Toastbuster! Pass.
We're good? Okay. Jesus Christ. Whoops. No. Save, not load. Save. Okay, Empire State Building. After an interminable delay, one of the elevators responds to your summons. Its doors opening wide. This elevator, apparently the only one still working, is marked Express. The party, 9 strong, with all its paraphernalia, squeezes into what would otherwise be a comfortably large elevator. You use Ben's key to activate the controls. 2 buttons, labeled Lobby and 102. You press the latter. The elevator doors close. With a sudden jerk, the elevator starts upward. Your ears buzz and your eardrums begin to feel as though they are going to burst. It's hard to believe that millions of people used to subject themselves to this experience on a regular basis. Surprisingly, a few moments later, the doors open and the party staggers out. Observation deck. You are on the 102nd story, just beneath the famous radio antenna where King Kong clung as he met his demise. Windows ring the room, offering views of the time-ravaged, semi-submerged city. An elevator lies open to the south. As you enter, Dr. Entropy looks up from a machine which resembles a giant movie projector. He smiles evilly as metal bands snap the entire party into a row of cinema-type seats.
Glad to see you. What's a movie without an audience? Of course, my projector is a projector with a difference. Instead of merely projecting images, it can turn those images into reality.
He pauses in order to give the party time to absorb the dreadful possibilities this presents.
So what shall I use for my initial test? Jurassic Park? The Blob? The Gidget Goes Hawaiian? Of course. Considering our locale, only one choice is fitting.
He opens the film can labeled King Kong. In the name of all things decent, stop, you cry, but the film is already running. Shit, I just skipped it. Apparently it summoned King Kong. Alright. Puh! He screams as Kong drags him out into midair, 100 floors above the debris-strewn pavement. The falling glass cuts the metal bands, releasing the party. Kong sniffs at the air, sensing that there may be bananas present. Give bananas to Kong. Kong's eyes can't even focus on something that small. Oh. Do I have to grow the bananas to be big again with the power of 10? Power of 10. The mighty magnitude touches the bunch of bananas. They expand to 300 pounds and topple from your inventory to the floor of the room. Kong feels certain that there are bananas around here somewhere. He begins waving his head back and forth, growling and swiping his huge arms about the observation deck, trying to find the bananas. The music seems like it's bugged out, but if I save, it should fix it. No? Apparently we're just stuck with this one musical note. Superpower of 10. Magnitude does his thing. The amount of bananas swells to 3,000 pounds. The ape is really getting excited now. He starts pounding his chest and roaring. Entropy, swinging in Kong's grip, does not look amused. Make more bananas. The bananas explode back to their original size, or so Magnitude assures you. They just look bigger now. Tape, because we're in an enclosed space. By this time, you've learned to just take his word for it. With 30,000 pounds of bananas lying around, well, let's just say the observation deck is getting to be
You should peel them first. You'll get a tummy ache.
A really slippery place. King Kong goes ape, so to speak. He finally spots the bananas, reaches in to grab them, and begins devouring them, 100 bunches at a time. He should peel them first, muses his tropical oil man. He'll get a tummy ache. He's completely distracted by the bananas.
Shut up and just get me away from this beast!
Kill Kong. Most powerful weapons would be like a mosquito sting to the mighty beast. Okay. Turn off the projector, maybe? Turn off. Just as Kong scoops up the last of the bananas, you take advantage of this distraction to flip off the projector. As the lights flicker and die, Kong becomes more and more ethereal until he disappears completely. And takes Dr. Entropy with him. Entropy, no longer supported, plunges 1,400 feet to the street below. A moment later, 15 tons of bananas lands on top of him. The resulting explosion completely atomizes his body, spreading his molecules across the tri-state area. The other members of the party boost you onto their shoulders, carrying you off to a well-deserved retirement. The end. Watch for more adventures of the Superhero League of Hoboken in Entropy's Revenge, which never happened. There's no sequel to this. You have amassed 2,564,768 experience points, which gives you the rank of Superhero First Class, twice decorated Emeritus. Under your leadership, the Superhero League of Hoboken has achieved the status of a level 8 league. You have prevailed in 207 of 209 combats, dispatching 1,081 opponents. You have completed all of your current missions. Current rankings. Number 1, the Superhero League of Hoboken. There we go. Not much of an ending. Catchy tune, though. There we go. It's a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. Some of the puzzles are a little silly, but still, solid game. Steve Moretsky gratefully acknowledges the help and support of the following people and organizations. That agency? And it just drops straight to DOS. Nice. Alright, well, we're done, and it's still pretty early, so I guess we'll just start right into our next game. So the next game we're going to play is another DOS game that I've never played before. And this one is really interesting that I've never